Across northern Australia, small native mammals are in decline due to a combination of fire, feral cats and cane toads. And it's feared the native predators of these mammals are also at risk as their food supply dwindles. An unusual project is underway to ensure the future of one such predator, the Oenpelli python. Alison Middleton reports.
The West Arnhem Land escarpment is a rugged and isolated environment. But this remote wilderness is home to a rich array of threatened species.
There's animals, there's reptiles everywhere, seeing them all the time, every day.
It's a lure for reptile fanatics from around Australia who come to search for their favourite creatures.
I like a challenge, and it's like looking for a needle in a haystack, this being the world's biggest haystack.
You clamber through and you see what you can find. You've got to look in every crack.
These men are on a quest to find the Oenpelli python, one of Australia's largest snakes. It's rare and threatened and lives only in this area.
The Oenpelli python's been here for a long time, a very hard snake to find. In some areas of Arnhem Land, it's a dreaming for some people, for some clan groups, and also it was a food source as well.
Yeah, it's a good crack, that one. That's going to take something to get into.
I think I've had a love affair with it since my childhood. It was only described in 1977. From that time on, it was one of those enigmas, something that you heard about but no one had ever seen.
It's Gavin Bedford's lifelong dream to find the Oenpelli python. For the last 3 years, he's been dropped in by helicopter to isolated sections of the Arnhem Land escarpment to explore its rocky crevices. 2 months ago, he found his treasure.
I call them the ghosts of Arnhem Land because essentially they are. You're chasing a ghost, and it's a bit of hit and miss, just dumb blind luck.
That is one beautiful animal.
Gavin Bedford wants to breed this python in captivity. Across northern Australia, the small mammals that form the major food source for this snake are in decline. The scientist believes that by captive breeding the Oenpelli python, he'll help to ensure the survival of the species.
There's a good chance that, like a lot of small mammals in this area, it's in decline. And so this way we actually have some. It doesn't really affect any population, but we have some in captivity as a security blanket, I guess.
What we're seeing is a trial harvest program and trial captive breeding program, but it's within the context of the sustainable use of wildlife, where we have an assessment that the harvest activity doesn't cause any detrimental conservation outcomes for the species. If anything, it has a conservation benefit.
That's a beautiful baby northern knobtail gecko. John, how's it?
Oh, it's beautiful, Gav. This is actually the first time I've held the baby one.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Gavin Bedford already successfully breeds other reptiles.
They get to about 12 centimetres.
He plans to sell his captive bred Oenpelli pythons. Already he's taken orders for 5 pairs for $15,000 a pop.
I'm trying to say, have a pet reptile, because you know, they make good pets, and also your neighbours aren't going to complain about the barking, so that's kind of good. It's not for everyone. It's a 5-metre snake at the end of the day.
Oh, nice.
Good snake.
That's a beauty. Yeah, there's one. Not quite the one we're after, but...
It's a radical approach to conservation, and one he hopes could be extended to other threatened animals.
The private individual makes sure that the animal that they're keeping is safe, so Parks and Wildlife can think outside the box. Instead of having to fund everything, it is a strategy for survival of animals that are going down the gurgler.
In reality, if you think about it, it's actually, for the Northern Territory, a very old approach. We have the classic example of the Northern Territory crocodile industry. It's been running for 30-odd years now, and it came out of this idea of sustainable utilisation of crocodiles to help support their conservation.
There's some cave geckos back there, but no snakes.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
It's a good sign. Finding cave geckos.
But to breed this python, Gavin Bedford needs to find the snake a mate. And in his quest, he has the help of other reptile lovers.
There's some
big ledges in under there too, next to the rainforest, just coming around.
These tourists have paid for a 4-day adventure to search for another Oenpelli python.
The issue to me is to save this snake from extinction, make sure it's a safe species, so that my children and their children can see this beautiful animal.
It's just being with nature, just animals and stuff like that. And being out here, you can't be in a better place to get amongst it. There's everything here, everything you want to find.
The 3 guys that I have with me are the very first snake eco-tourists in Australia's history, and what they're doing is helping fund that research.
I'll have a look under this crap.
This venture is also a source of revenue for local traditional owners.
That could be a painting of Nara.
It looks like it, eh?
It does.
Yeah.
The Oenpelli python.
This expedition's guide, Fred Hunter, says the rock art of the area highlights the importance of the python to local people.
I think it's the Oenpelli python, and it's been there for a long time. We don't know how long. They're very old paintings.
Looks like there's another one here, Gavin.
Yeah.
Local Aboriginal people will receive a royalty every time a snake is collected and the offspring sold.
It's the same like the one around the corner too, you know, it's got the dots on here.
But for these snake hunters, this project is about much more than just money.
Yeah, I've lived here in Kakadu and Arnhem Land all my life, and I've never seen one in the wild. So the one that Gavin found is the first one that I've seen. But I'd like my children to see them, and I'd like their children to see them as well.
We can't give up, just can't give up. I mean, this project's just too valuable
To bring some back into captivity and breed them and ensure their survival for my child is a great honour.
I found one. You can't give up with one. One doesn't breed, so we'll keep going until we find more.
Alison Middleton reporting.